better?
Yeah, much better. Okay. Everybody just saw that.
Okay.
Okay,
Are you ready?
we're ready.
Let me see. Okay. And
How do you turn the unthinkable into the unstoppable? We're going to find out more on St. Louis in Tune today. Welcome to St. Louis in Tune, and thank you for joining us for fresh perspectives on issues and events with experts, community leaders, and everyday people who are driving change and making an impact that shapes our society and world. I'm Arnold Stricker, along with Mark Langston.
I think I fall into the everyday people category. I'm not sure.
You and me both. You and me both.
Just-
But we have been community leaders,
well, yeah.
and I would also say,
until they kicked us to the curb.
right.
Right.
And just, we've dusted ourselves off, and
Right.
you would be an expert in some governmental affairs,
Some
like
of
that,
them, yes.
and I would be an expert in some educational kinds of things, just
Yes.
some of them.
That's
Then we get kicked to the curb.
I know. And education, always I've said, the pillar of our communities. That's where the rubber meets the road.
That's right.
And I think we had a governor once who was on a school board for years. The one that died in the airplane
Mel
crash.
Carnahan.
Mel Carnahan was, and I
Really? I
remember
didn't know
him
that.
saying, yes, he was. He said that is really what he did as a school board member. They don't get paid.
Right.
As a mayor, I got paid. It wasn't much, but I got paid. But he said that was the most thankless job he's ever done, but the most important job that he's ever done.
It is.
And he was governor. He was sitting governor when he said that. So, yeah. So
Very true.
Yeah. I thought. All right. Sorry.
Very true. No.
I just take these. Yeah.
No,
Start
those are
talking.
important aspects of why we do this show, because it's informing people about things that have happened in the past that are currently going on, and hopefully that will give us insight into how to deal with future kinds of things, kind of
Yeah.
like this return to civility.
Oh, good.
When you pull out a pack of gum or mints, offer one to the folks around you. If you give away all of them so none are left, that's even better.
Wow. Is that because they have bad breath? Or just
It
doing it
could
to
be.
be nice?
It could be. And I've always seen where some people they'll do their little mint by themselves and then stick it back in their pocket, like real fast. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to offer you
No,
one.
no. They're mine.
No, I don't like those.
They're all mine.
Winto greens.
They're all mine.
I don't like those winto greens.
Oh, whatever. I know. it's so good to see you, actually. And
Yeah.
we have a wonderful guest. I can't wait to get to our guest.
We have a great guest today, as always. And
Well, can I ask something though? You park in a garage, don't you?
I do.
Yeah. See, he's a hoity-toity guy.
No, it's just it's part of the gig.
So we're recording this in the middle of October. I won't even tell you the year, but I had to scrape my windshield today to leave. You wouldn't
This
know
morning?
Yes, you wouldn't know anything about that, I'm sure.
No.
Yes, I had to scrape frost off of my windshield today in the middle of October. What is going on?
No kidding.
Global warming or
We-
something.
We have a
Global-
heated garage.
Global cooling. Oh, all right. Okay, now I'm done now. I just had to get that out of my system. Okay. Okay. he's looking at me
You're done
funny.
then, okay?
Yeah, I've cooked.
Okay, all right. Our guest is Jamie Mowers. She's a Webster Groves native. She graduated from Southwest Missouri State University, now Missouri State University, and worked as a reporter for the Rolla Daily News, the Springfield News Leader, and the Sullivan Journal. She became a reporter for the Webster Kirkwood Times and is now the owner and editor-in-chief of the Times, and that occurred in September of 2020. She's the founder of Buzzing Love, a kindness project founded in memory of her dad, Gary. And we're going to talk to her about what I would call her chapter in the book, In Her Power, In Her Wisdom. It's a woman's guide to overcoming challenges and growing into your power, and it's compiled by Rebecca Now and Dr. Marty Casey. Good to see you, Jamie. Welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
So how did this all kind of occur? How did you get this chapter in the book that's entitled A Legacy of Love, Turning the Unthinkable into the Unstoppable.
So I'm very, very excited and very honored to be part of this incredible book. And the whole reason that I am a part of it is because Rebecca Now, one of the authors who compiled the book, as you said, with Marty Casey, Rebecca extended me an invite to write a chapter. There's 23 authors in the book, so I am one of the ones who I'm honored to have a chapter. And every single woman in this book has an incredibly powerful story to tell. Hence the title, In Her Power, In Her Wisdom. And I love being part of this book so much because, like I said, the little pearls, the wisdom, just all of us sharing our experiences, our trauma, our healing, our overcoming. Just it's come together in this book, which is now an international bestseller. We're very
Wow.
excited about that.
Wow.
So this has been a really incredible experience and opportunity. I think not only for me, but for everyone who is a part of this book. And we are so excited to put this out into the world and share it with other incredible women, because I've always said as a journalist that everyone has a story. Everyone. I mean, whether you're in a book, whether you're in the newspaper, it doesn't matter. Every single person has a story. And I think what everyone who picks up this book will find is that they can see themselves in one of these stories.
So how does a book like this become an international bestseller? It's only been on the market, on the bookshelf for what, a month and a half?
Yes. So we are so excited about achieving that international bestseller status, and that comes from the support of everyone who we know, who we don't know. The digital launch is what captured
Like pre-order?
that. Yes,
Right. Okay.
the
Wow.
digital launch.
Okay.
So like
Yeah.
generating the
Mhm.
excitement about it.
Mhm.
And then, like I said, it goes on Amazon first, the digital launch campaign.
Okay.
And then, so we've reached a lot of people already so far,
No kidding.
obviously.
Right.
Yeah. So a lot of these authors, some people may know locally. Some of the stories, there's a soldier story by Phyllis Williams. I read that one. The Power to Heal, Turning Setbacks into Success, A Journey of Resilience and Discovery. Why? And maybe this would be a question for Rebecca or Marty, and we've had Rebecca on before, but why is a book like this needed, and especially now?
Good question, I would say.
Yes, that is a great question. I think a book like this is needed now, anytime really, but I think especially now, just we all face so many challenges. Women especially, I think it's important for us to come together. I think it's important for women to support each other. Women empower women. More importantly, empowered women empower other women, right? So, like I said, it's important for us to see each other in these stories. It's important for us to support each other. It's important for us to share our stories, not only with each other, but then, like I said, larger audiences, because it makes reading these stories, I think, will make other women or whoever reads the book feel less alone in their struggles, their challenges, and their pain.
So
Wow.
let's tease this out a little bit. The most difficult thing you ever faced, even under less tragic circumstances, was what?
Was losing my dad.
Oh.
And Mark and I know that story. And
Yeah.
just a little disclaimer, I grew up with Jamie's father, and my parents knew Jamie's grandparents, and her dad and her aunt I've known for a long, long time.
Right.
Yes.
And the bees.
Yeah, we're going to get to the bees.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We won't
Okay.
forget the
Okay.
bees.
Okay.
And that's not, and that's BEES. It's for buzzing love, folks.
Right.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Describe
Sorry.
that. You talk about, I was consumed by pain, panic, post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, disbelief, and layer upon layer of grief and trauma. And I ask you these questions because there's somebody out there who has not worked through some of those things you're describing.
Yes. So my chapter is about losing my dad in the most horrific way. He was killed on June 29th, 2014, ripped from our lives by gun violence by another family member. And so the chapter revisits that deep grief and pain and disbelief and anxiety that surrounded, that consumed my life. It was so overpowering. It was so consuming. It was so terrifying that I really didn't think I could survive it. I truly just did not think that kind of pain was survivable. And even if it was, more importantly, even if it was, I didn't want to be in it. Why would I want to do that? I mean, it's like I did not think I could endure that kind of pain. I loved my dad so much. I mean, so much, so fiercely. I couldn't imagine doing this life without him. And I didn't want to. I did not want to. But here we are,
Right.
sitting
10 years
10
later.
years later, which is crazy. I can't believe I survived it. And not only that, there's been so much joy alongside the pain that I never would have thought was possible. And so for me to be able to sit here today and also in the book share the pain, but also the hope and the joy and the resilience that is part of my life and is part of my story. That's what I want people to hold on to. Right. And I think that all the authors, I think all of us who are part of the book, like I said, we want to share that. We want to share our struggles so that other people know, wow, I can, whatever you are facing, I promise you that you can do it. You can do it. And you are not alone in that pain. Pain and trauma and grief feel so isolating. And when it's so painful, you think that no one else can understand how that feels. And to some extent, I mean, pain is very individualized, right? Pain, trauma, grief, it's very individualized, but it's also universal. So we can all relate to each other on some level of that kind of pain. But by the flip side, again, we can also relate to, love, joy, hope, resilience. All of that is universal too.
Absolutely.
So again, we're sharing both sides of the coin because, if somebody else thinks, wow, if this woman or that woman can get through what they went through, then I can overcome my challenge.
Jamie,
well.
I agree so much with that. The trauma, I've lost both of my parents, and as sad as that is, to read and see what you've gone through and what other folks have gone through similar to that, I sit there and go, I don't think I could go through it. And then I see your strength and how you managed to find your way through the dark forest. It's enlightening, it's uplifting, and it gives me hope. I'm going, boy, I thought I had it bad.
Right.
Yeah. And then you can really relate to that.
Well, I really appreciate that. And I just want to be really quick to point out that I would not have gotten through this alone. I mean, the only reason that I am here today, literally the only reason I'm still in front of you today, is the love and the strength and the kindness and the compassion of my husband, my mom, my best friends, and an entire army of love that surrounded me. And we'll
Yeah.
get to buzzing love soon.
Right,
but
right.
but yes, so it's, and that's why I really want to, I try to, like I said, just impress upon other people that they are not alone.
Well,
We are not
it
alone.
helps.
in
It
this.
helps. It really does help. Very uplifting, very helpful. I mean, just to see that, just again, to see the struggle and to see that you made it through, that there is hope, and having that support system, as you said, is just so
Huge.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Arnold Stricker with Mark Langston of St. Louis InTune. We're talking to Jamie Mowers about her chapter in the book, In Her Power, In Her Wisdom. And the chapter is A Legacy of Love, Turning the Unthinkable into the Unstoppable. You mention in your chapter, Jamie, and we've talked about grief, but you say, I've learned that grief and pain never go away, but they evolve. And you also say that the greatest lesson your dad taught you was never, 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 never give up. Kind of imitating Winston Churchill
That's
there.
right.
How did your grief and pain evolve? And talk a little bit about that from your personal perspective.
Sure. I like to talk about that because when you're in the early moments, stages, months, years, even the early years of your pain and trauma and grief, part of what is so terrifying, or at least it was to me, is that I thought it was never going to be different. Like, I thought it was always going to be
The same?
Yes, I thought that was my life.
It's like the same intensity.
Yes, the same intensity.
Okay.
Yes. And that was part of the reason it was so terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why I thought also, I'm never going to survive this. And even if I can, I don't want to be in this kind of pain. It's just not survivable, is what I thought. But then as time goes on, and time is not, I don't believe time is a healer per se, but as you continue to work very hard to find the healing, and everybody does that in different ways,
Mm-hmm.
your grief and pain, or at least mine, I found that it does change and it does evolve, and the intensity is what I think, at least for me, that is what I learned changes, and that also makes it survivable. So there are a lot of times, even now, 10 years out, where I jump back to that intensity, right? Like, it seems like it was yesterday, and I'm back in that place, and that is very hard, and that is very it feels traumatizing. I go through those periods.
Mm-hmm.
So but I know that I don't live there anymore
Mm-hmm.
in that same intensity.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's different. The intensity ebbs and flows around, certain occasions, certain times of the year, but then it recedes, the tide goes in and out,
Right.
as they say.
Right.
And I have found that to be very true. And one thing that I do mention this in the chapter, to that end, like, the intensity does change. My best friend, in the very early, it had only been a couple months after my dad was killed, and we were upstairs, we were in my bedroom, I was having a panic attack, I was just in so much pain, and that is one of the times I thought, I'm never going to get out of this. I'm never going to, this is what my life is going to be now. Like, what is the point, of all this stuff? I missed my dad so much. There was just so much going on. Of course, we were dealing with his killer from prison. It was, I cannot, it was hell on earth. I cannot even describe how painful that was. But she looked at me and she said, I know you can't really hang on to this right now. I know you can't necessarily grasp the full extent of what I'm about to say, but if you can just hear me, that would be good. And what she said was, she said, it will not always be this way.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
It is.
When they say that, you go like, no.
Right. I was like,
Yeah.
no. I was like, I don't believe you, but
Yeah, I'm hopeful.
right. But here's
Yeah.
the thing. I knew that I could believe her because she was my best friend. She had also lost her dad just a few years prior to that. I was also very close with her dad. So because she was my best friend, because she had also already lost her dad, I knew that I just kind of had to believe her, right? I was like, I wasn't there, but I knew that I could believe her, and I knew I was just like, I need to suspend my disbelief that I can't get through this, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was, and to my dad's point of like, never, never, never give up. I basically started to take the approach of, well, I promised Dad I couldn't give up. I promised my husband and my 2 Pomeranians, Foxy and Bear Bear, that I would not give up. I mean, yeah, and it's true. I mean, Foxy helped save my life. I mean, because I look at my husband, I look at those 2 little faces, and I'm like, okay, like there is reason to live. There is reason to go on. And so I was just like, well, yeah, promised Dad wouldn't give up. So guess I have to keep going until this kills me.
Well,
I mean, kind of. I mean, I say
Yeah.
it flippantly, but
No,
that approach helped me.
right.
and you had been through
I believe
the marathon and the Iron Woman competition,
Yes.
which is
What?
preparing.
She's so tiny.
Yeah, preparing someone for just this physical endurance that is beyond belief. But then on the marathon, where your dad runs with you, the last 6 miles in street shoes?
Yes, jeans, and probably a $10 pair of tennis shoes.
Now
Wow.
the guy was
My
was,
hero.
was fit,
Mine too.
but he wasn't. I'm sure he wasn't running every day. Like I'm going to take on 6 miles on the last leg
No.
of this marathon with Jamie.
Ay.
That to me, from when I read this and knowing you and knowing your dad, is that supported you, that gave you impetus ahead of all before this whole incident happened to help you achieve and overcome.
Yes. I had that memory so vividly. I was struggling to finish the last part of a marathon. This actually happened just 2 months before he would be killed in my own house. So I just had that with me, and the last 6 miles of that marathon, yeah, he just like sees me, he's there to cheer, like jeans, whatever, hadn't run in years. And then he's just like, okay, well, we're going to do this. And he's like chanting Marine Corps,
He's a big Marine Corps.
like cheers all the way to the end. And we ran to the finish, our arms up high. And we were just talking that whole last 6 miles.
Killing me here.
There's a great photograph of that too.
There is.
So wonderful.
And we talked about how Baron guys never give up no matter what. And so like I said, so then after he was killed, I'm like, okay, I promised him I would never give up. So I just have to keep going. I was convinced, like I said, that I would not survive this, but because I had made that promise to my dad and my husband, and Foxy and Berber
Mm.
that I would not give up. I was like, I will keep going until this just, I mean, I thought I would die of a broken heart. I literally thought my heart would shatter. I would have a heart attack, something like that, because the pain and the panic, I did not think that was survivable. But I promised them that I would keep going no matter what. And I did. And oh my God, I'm so glad.
And we'll find out. We're going to take a break. We'll find out exactly what was that unstoppable thing that she transformed all of this grief and pain into, which is now a worldwide phenomenon. This is Arnold Stricker with Mark Langston of St. Louis InTune. We'll be right back. Don't buzz off. This is Arnold Stricker of St. Louis InTune on behalf of the Dred Scott Heritage Foundation. In 1857, the Dred Scott decision was a major legal event and catalyst that contributed to the Civil War. The decision declared that Dred Scott could not be free because he was not a citizen. The 14th Amendment, also called the Dred Scott Amendment, granted citizenship to all born or naturalized here in our country and was intended to overturn the U.S. Supreme Court decision on July 9, 1868. The Dred Scott Heritage Foundation is requesting a commemorative stamp to be issued from the U.S. Postal Service to recognize and remember the heritage of this amendment by issuing a stamp with the likeness of the man Dred Scott. But we need your support and the support of thousands of people who would like to see this happen. To achieve this goal, we ask you to download, sign, and share the one-page petition with others. To find the petition, please go to dredscottlives.org and click on the Dred Scott Petition Drive on the right side of the page. On behalf of the Dred Scott Heritage Foundation, this has been Arnold Stricker of St. Louis InTune. The United States has a strong tradition of welcoming newcomers and refugees. The Welcome Corps is a new service opportunity for Americans inspired to welcome those seeking freedom and safety and in turn help strengthen their own communities. Welcome Corps is a public-private partnership that is inspired by what Americans represent to so many around the world, a beacon of hope and refuge. All it takes is a helping hand. Are you ready to learn more? Contact the International Institute of St. Louis at info@iistl.org or call 314-773-9090. That's info@iistl.org or call 314-773-9090.
Is that you on the piano?
That's me on the Hammond B3 right there.
Oh, a Hammond B3. There you go.
Welcome back to St. Louis InTune with Arnold Stricker and Mark Langston. We're talking to Jamie Mowers, editor-owner of the Webster Kirkwood Times and the founder at Buzzing Love. But she's in here talking about her chapter in the book, In Her Power, In Her Wisdom. That chapter is called A Legacy of Love, Turning the Unthinkable into the Unstoppable.
International bestseller.
International bestseller. Number
Don't
one
forget that
bestseller
thing.
international. Yes.
Yes.
Wow. Compiled by Rebecca Now and Dr. Marty Casey. Jamie, if you missed the first half of the interview, you can go to stlintune.com and check that on the podcast. Now we're going to shift to where all of this wave of dark foam coming from the tsunami, and you're standing there looking at that, 50-foot wave coming, and you're on the beach, and then all of a sudden this wall goes up. It protects you, and you turn that sucker into a calm sea through a group called Buzzing Love. Now, talk about that origin and how that has just caught fire all over the world.
Thank you so much again for having me. And yes, so Buzzing Love became a way to honor my dad. And I want to be very clear. I did not start this. This is the amazingness and the kindness of all of my best friends who they got together on the first anniversary of my dad's death. So June 29th, the first year, they knew that would be a very tough day for my family and I. And I somewhere along the line, I had mentioned, like maybe on that day, I could do something nice for somebody, or just do something to,
Share some kindness.
Share some kindness share dad's love, just pay that forward kind of thing. And then I guess one of them just hooked on to that and really ran with it. So they had set up this whole secret Facebook group and just invited, friends, invited everybody they knew, and they invited people, and so it basically, the group just asked whoever was in that group to very simply just practice an act of kindness. And it would be, this is our way to, to honor my, Jamie's dad, whether you knew him or whether you didn't, just because it's awesome to, to spread love and kindness, and you can also give someone else hope that way. So, so the day comes, that first day comes, that first anniversary, I wake up, I'm dreading it. And I wake up and it's just like all over social media, everything is lighting up, and just people in all across the country. There were people in other parts of the world, because everybody knows somebody somewhere, right?
Right.
So my friends came up with the hashtag buzzing love for Gary B. His last name, my maiden name, Baranyai. So it was Gary B. And then we love to exchange fun. My dad and I love to exchange fun bumblebee gifts. So they took the B and, BEE for the hashtag, which has since just been shortened to buzzing love. And so that, because again, this is universal, right? So we want, buzzing love to be for everyone. And it's just about spread. Yes, it began with, as a way to honor my dad and spread his love and light and laughter with the world. But buzzing love can be anytime, any day, anywhere, because those little glimmers, right? The glimmers of kindness that people show one another, that literally could be the thing, the little tiniest thing that's no big deal to you maybe, but that could be what saves someone on a very, very hard day. And I know because it saved me.
Wow.
Buzzinglove.org. Buzzinglove.org, folks, if you want more information on that. So give us some examples of what was done on that first anniversary, and then what continues to be done, not only on the anniversary date, but kind of all the time now.
Sure. I mean, it's just very simply, it's the simplest acts of kindness. I mean, it's people leaving extra quarters at the car wash. I remember for the first day, for the first one, someone taped dollars to, a vending machine in their building, just like extra, here, have an extra snack on me. People have also donated to, causes that are close to, like the first anniversary of my dad's heart, which was like Toys for Tots, the Marines. But it's, paying for the next person in line, or some people get caught up in the, what am I going to do? Or, like, I don't know what to do.
Right.
I mean, even just making a conscious effort to smile at people, or actually interact with people in a meaningful way, like when you're at the gas station or grocery store or whatever, like look around, right? Like get out of your phone, look at the people in front of you, behind you, like maybe like if they have a cart full of groceries and you have one item, maybe let them go first.
Right.
Just even by paying attention, even by paying more attention, I think we can be kinder. And just even, like I said, just noticing someone, smiling at them, say,
Has
hey, I'll buy
kindness
your soda.
gone away due to technology and due to we're kind of in our own little worlds, and so we don't want to mix it up with other people? And I'll throw this in there, and because of politics.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say kindness has gone away because
taking a holiday or
yeah, because
on sabbatical.
Right. I mean, because buzzing love and so many other things, but I mean, buzzing love is proof. I mean, I see it, every day.
Absolutely.
That there is kindness every day if you look for it, and if you be a part of that,
Mhm.
right? Like we can't just sit by and let someone else do that. I think in general, it's easy to feel like, yes, kindness is maybe on the downslide. But I don't believe that, I guess, because I just think we have to work harder at being part of the kindness and opening our eyes to see it. I mean, there's kind people everywhere, and I think that that's just what, like I said, we should try to focus on and try a little harder. And it's a challenge for me too. I mean, I work in a very, very stressful industry. There I have a lot of bad days, and I'm not always, there are a lot of days I walk away from the office going, man, I can do better, and
Right.
I try. But so it's just like I said, it's a challenge, but I think if we're aware of it and,
Mhm.
like I said, and we all just think about it a little bit more,
Mhm.
and make that, just like I said, conscious effort to pay attention to the people around us. And like I said, create those little personal interactions.
Mhm.
It might, like I said, it might not be anything to you or whatever, and you go on about your day and the other person does too. But if you made that one little spark, that one little connection,
Yep.
your morning coffee, in the morning, then it's like, okay, like that was really nice.
Yeah. You never know, do you?
You never know.
You
That's the
never
thing.
know when that little smile or that thank you or open a door, whatever it
Right.
is going to really make all the difference.
Yes.
I mean, it's crazy to say that. It just
No,
seems so
it's
simple,
true.
doesn't it?
Right.
True.
But
it's so true.
uh-huh.
It's so true.
Well, you never know where people are in their lives or what they're going through
Yeah.
at any given moment.
Mhm.
And something in the wrong way
Yeah.
can send them down the wrong
Oh, yeah.
path, or
Yes.
really, my words, debilitate them in a more increased manner, or you can lift them
Uh-huh.
up. And when you were talking about that, you were talking about be a part of that. Be a part of that. And I would say that even if you're not doing that for someone else, if you're doing it for yourself, it's like picking up a piece of trash on the
Yes.
sidewalk outside, or
Mhm.
doing something where somebody else may see that and they go, oh wow,
Yeah.
so it's, you're not doing it to get something back, you're doing it to enhance
Mhm.
yourself and others around you.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
And one thing
yes,
was,
yes.
yes, I was gathering my thoughts, but to that extent too, one thing I have talked about on Buzzing Love before is, to your point of, even if you're not necessarily doing it for somebody else, like you said, somebody might see you do something in this, oh yeah, I should do that, or yeah, I'm gonna do that next time I see a piece of trash. But also, kindness to ourselves,
Mhm.
I think, and this is
There's a good one.
yeah,
Yes,
and
yes.
yes, and this kind of also, I think, plays into just the book a little bit, in terms of like, I think women can especially be very, very hard on ourselves. So
Talk about that why for the male audience. Why
Yeah.
is that?
why is that?
Yeah.
Well, you're the males in the room.
I know. How have you? I know. They've been
it's
brought
just
up.
it's just in our nature. I
Yeah.
think, yes, I think it's
It
in
is
our
nature.
nature.
I think it is.
I think it's in our nature. It's obviously part of our culture.
Right.
We're women have always been expected to be the end all, the be all, the everything, the
Yep.
doers, the
But you can't vote yet.
right.
Yeah,
You can do-
exactly.
it's true. Like you do
Yes.
everything and you can't
But make
vote
sure
yet.
dinner's on the table.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Don't even go
Yes.
there. I know. I don't know how we ever got there in the first
Thank
place.
you.
You know what I mean? It's like, how did this ever happen in the first place?
Yes. Yes. So I think we're very hard on ourselves. And I think this plays out in our circles. It certainly does. Like in my circle of friends, we get together, coffee, we're talking about all this stuff, what you got going on, what you're going through, what's happening, what's hard. And it's like, it never fails. That it's just like, we are always being so hard on ourselves. And then it's like, but we all chime, we're all like, but I tell my friend, like, it's like we're able to like lift each other up so much but we also need to not be beating ourselves down.
Right.
You know, like the encouragement, it's, you've heard this before, but it's true, you know, like the encouragement, the advice, the, you know, rah, the cheerleading that, you know, you give to your friends. It's okay to get, you know, to be kind to yourself, because also I think when you are trying to be kind to yourself, then that's going to reflect what you put back out on the world, you know. And one of the chapters, you know, is so great. I mean, all of the chapters are so great, but one of the chapters in particular talks about, you know, you cannot pour from an empty cup.
Yep.
You just can't.
Yep.
You know, you can, and a lot of us do it for a very long time, but you will reach the point that you can't do it anymore.
Right.
You know, and then that's when you need to start coming back to yourself a little bit, because like I said, when you do that, then you really can start, like I said, empowering the other women, not just women, but everyone around you, you know, the people in your life.
Right. Wow.
So the reception of the book and your chapter, both of them together, has been very, very good. You've done some book signings and book review kinds of things.
Oh,
at
I want to go to a
bookstores,
book
etc.
signing.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes, please come to our book signings. So the next one that we're going to have is on November 1st in Sunset Hills, and I'll have more information on that soon. But we're going to be having several because, like I said, you know, a few of us might make it to one, and then some other authors make it to the next one. And yes, it's been so much fun. I never thought I would be signing a book that I was part of a chapter. And yeah, so it's been really fun, and we hope to see you.
How do we find out though about where these book signings are? I mean,
so basically, I would just say, if the easiest way is, people can contact me, or Marty Casey or Rebecca Now. You can find, I'm easily accessible. Webster Kirkwood Times, Buzzing Love, just my personal pages and everything like that. So we don't have, like I said, a lot of them are still in the works, but there will definitely be more in, you know, certainly the Webster, Kirkwood, and several other areas coming up, especially with the holidays.
Right.
So
yes, the holidays is coming.
Yes, it makes a good gift.
I was going to say that. I think it would be a wonderful gift. You know?
Yes, especially for the woman in your life.
Are all of the authors in there, are they from the St. Louis area, or are they from around the area?
Yes, we are all authors who are from the St. Louis area, greater St. Louis area, which I think is really neat, because like I said, this is about the women who are here, but also I think the fact that the book has made international bestseller just speaks to how universal these stories are.
I cannot imagine how they pick the women to contribute to the book.
I know. They had a very difficult job, I'm sure.
I would bet, because how many total are there in there?
23.
23. That's a lot of stories.
It is, and they're all so powerful.
Was there a lot of restrictions on your chapter? Like it couldn't be any longer than...
Oh, yes. I was going to say there were no restrictions in terms of what we could write about. I mean, we could write about absolutely anything we wanted, and how we wanted to do it, and how we wanted to tell our story was solely ours, which there's a lot of power in that, right? But they could not be over 1,500 words. And for anyone who knows me, knows that was no easy feat.
Right.
I had so much, I had so much that I wanted to put in there, but I think most people feel like that. So what you're getting is like the revised, condensed, version. But yeah, no, we were able to tell our stories in whatever way we saw fit.
I know, out of all the stories in the book, have you read them all?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Are there any that really jump out other than yours?
Yes, there is. I mean, they're all so incredible that I hate to single one out, but
Well, I'm sure. Yeah, yeah.
I will say the one that I have related to the most is by a woman who lost her 13-year-old to suicide.
Aye.
So that but she's done an amazing, incredible thing that is, she now has a foundation in honor of her daughter, and she works, she's done incredible, amazing work. But I resonated with that one, obviously, because of there were some similarities, and I just I again, like I'm telling you guys that every woman will see themselves in this book, and that's true for me as well. Like, I see myself in her story and vice versa.
Right. There's so many different emotions in this book, aren't there?
Yes,
Yes.
so many.
Yeah.
All of the emotions.
The whole
Well, and I think the biggest thing
rainbow of emotions
is that there is hope through. I don't want to say out of, because sometimes you just work your way through situations.
Through, yes.
And your situation was one that resonated because both Mark and I have known you for a while, and the other situations, I'm sure, are they. It's just like looking at a diamond. This book is kind of like you look at a different facet of the diamond, you get a different perspective on somebody else's pain and grief, and how they've worked through it, and how they've actually moved it and put it into a positive direction. And that's what I think we all want to do. We don't want to live in isolation, because isolation cannot be good at all. It just feeds that pain. It feeds that grief
Right.
in a negative manner.
Right.
So
I like the concept of being able to go to a chapter and just it's all there,
Yes.
and then I can put it down and go to the next chapter later on or something like that. Yeah.
And they're like 4 or 5 pages, so
Yes.
it's not like it's
Yeah.
a dissertation on somebody's situation.
Yeah.
It's short
Like a
vignettes
doctorate,
about
right,
how
okay.
how people have worked through their things.
Yes.
So,
Our own version of chicken soup for the soul.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. Good way to put it. That's
Yes.
yeah.
That's what I think of them, right? You guys remember all those.
Oh, yeah.
Just the short stories,
Uh-huh.
and so
It is.
So Buzzing Love, folks, buzzinglove.org. You can catch some more information about that, some of the stories. You can get some love bracelets, and you can get the book. Where can you get the book?
yes,
Jamie?
all you need to do is contact me. I would love if you purchase directly from me. Like I said, you can contact info is on the Buzzing Love website. You can also always find me at the Webster Kirkwood Times.
And we'll have her
Contact me
contact
there.
information on the podcast
Yes.
page.
Right.
We'll
Okay.
make it easy.
Wow. It's so good to see you.
It's
Yes.
good
I
to
don't know
be
I don't
here.
know if we're at the end there or not, but
Yes.
it's great to see Jamie.
And
Thank you guys.
we appreciate you coming in.
She's worked so hard with that newspaper too.
Thank you.
You brought that newspaper back.
Well,
if
no.
people really understand it was going out, it was gone.
You resurrected
Wasn't it?
Yes, but you guys are very
This-
kind. But it wasn't just me. It takes our
Oh,
army.
sure,
It
sure.
takes our army.
But
our
it takes
team.
a leader too to
It
be
takes-
in there, Jamie.
Well,
so don't
I
forget
appreciate that.
Yeah, right.
But it's everyone on our team, and my co-owners Randy Drillingus and Kent Tentshirt, phenomenal, and the team that we have, like I said, that surrounds us. Everybody is just phenomenal. So that's why we're here, and the support of the communities is also just outstanding.
And I hope people understand how special it is, because there's not a lot of communities, are there?
No. Unfortunately, it's a dying breed, but
Yeah.
the
is
country,
sad.
I mean, every community really should have a newspaper.
I agree, wholeheartedly. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, St. Louis Post-Dispatch has difficulties even printing their paper locally.
Yeah, they're going
Yeah,
to
so,
Columbia or something like that.
To have a large newspaper, a city newspaper like that, struggling, and to see how a community newspaper is really kind of thriving,
Yeah, but it's a great paper.
maybe sends us back to where we should be.
I always grab it
I do too.
everywhere I go. Every time I'm
Thank
in
you.
emos, for sure, I'm grabbing a copy of it.
Shameless plug.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Well, thanks for coming in again. We
Thank
appreciate
you guys so much for having me. I'm
No.
so grateful.
It's always our
it.
pleasure.
Mark, do you have any days of the day?
Well, let's see. Today is International Credit Union Day. Are you a credit union member?
I am.
Are you? I am too. Okay. National Pasta Day is today.
Oh boy. What kind?
I don't. Well, it's any kind of Italian pasta that you want. It's fine.
Oh,
Conflict Resolution Day.
oh, that should be every day.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Yes.
glad. I'm glad we have that today for you and I. Let's see. Get Smart About Credit Day.
Mm.
There's
That's
so
another
many
every day.
days. Did you know there were so many days available? International Shakeout Day. Let me see.
Shake out, not shake down.
Right. Shakeout.
Okay.
National Edge Day. Do you like edgy music?
Edgy
Like,
music?
Yeah, like rock and roll edgy music. This
What are
is
you
the
talking about?
day for
Like,
National. I know these are not too good.
like crazy rock music?
I know. Well, you're crazy anyway, but let's see. I know there's a couple of more. National Chocolate Cupcake Day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I go for that
Now
one.
you're talking.
Yeah.
Healthcare Aid Day. Oh my goodness. Tell me about healthcare. This is what Jamie, this is what your Congress is doing. They're voting on this stuff instead of National Alaska Day. There you go. National Necktie Day. When was the last time you wore a necktie?
I actually do not remember. I had to wear one for so long. I even got rid of my suits.
Really?
I did.
Did you?
Yes.
What are they going to bury you in? I'm kidding.
Let's just have to get one.
They're going to go out and buy you a suit to bury you in?
Yeah, I guess
Okay,
so.
this is all very, very dark.
Mark, here's our word for the day.
Oh, good. It's about time. Okay.
And many of you have probably used this. It's tootle.
Toodle.
To move or proceed in a leisurely way. You heard of tootling around?
Yes.
What are you tootling around there for?
Yeah, all right.
I've used that for some of the kids
Yeah.
when I was principal.
Have you?
Quit tootling around. there.
Tootling.
Get to work there.
You're a tootler.
You're a tootler.
Toodle-eye.
And here's another one. Do you know what a millionaire is? A millionaire.
A millionaire.
It's a person with little or no money.
I was
Oh.
just gonna say I have nothing. That's what it. That's what it feels like it would mean.
You're right. Right.
Nothing.
And some common advice is to avoid conversations at work. Just always walk with a purpose and a toilet plunger.
Oh my. Wait. Okay. Whoa. That's pretty bad.
What if
sorry.
if Volkswagen brought back the Beetle as an electric car? They called it the lightning bug.
No. Don't let him do this. You're closer to him. Hit him.
I'm sorry. I
Grab his
I
microphone.
mentioned to the trainer that I was surprised how winded I was by the exercise. And he said, this was just a tour of the gym.
What's wrong with him?
And, we know Kleenex. Kleenex is a brand name.
Right.
It's not,
That's right.
tissues or
Tissue.
whatever, nose tissues
Correct.
or whatever they use.
Correct.
Velcro is also a brand name, and the company launched campaigns to encourage people to stop using quote unquote Velcro as a generic term. The correct name for the product is actually hook and loop, believe it or not. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. And it was invented from a guy that got those little burrs on his. Did you know that?
Yeah,
And he died a pauper because he never patented
claimed it. Yeah.
Died a pauper. It had no money. I know. What is that
a
about?
millionaire.
I
So
know. You
maybe-
should at least
yeah,
help the
millionaire
guy
guy.
out a little bit, will you?
So maybe some people remember the baseball player named John Kruk. He played for the Philadelphia Phillies. But a senior citizen saw him smoking a cigarette after a game and said, "That's horrible to see a professional athlete like you smoking." He said, "I'm not an athlete, lady. I'm a baseball player."
Your time is so short now.
You don't get a body of mine overnight. It takes years of moderate neglect and bacon.
Thank you very much.
There you go. There you go.
And
And then there are,
no matter
I'll
where-
leave it with this. There are some 1 minute you're fun and young, and the next minute the new hires at work are the same age as your kids.
I remember when I was the youngest at work.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, they said, "Are you hiring teenagers to be a principal?"
Nope. No.
Okay, folks. Well,
Take a bow.
that's all for this hour. We appreciate you listening. If you've enjoyed this episode, you can listen to additional shows at stlintune.com. Consider leaving a review on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, or your preferred podcast platform. Your feedback helps us reach more listeners and continue to grow. I want to thank Bob Berthasell for our theme music, our guest, Jamie Mowers, and co-host Mark Langston. We thank you for being a part of our community of curious minds, folks. St. Louis InTune is a production of Motif Media Group and the U.S. Radio Network. Remember to keep seeking, keep learning. Walk worthy and let your light shine. For St. Louis InTune, I'm Arnold Stricker.